Welcome, dear friends, to this moment of serenity and reflection. Today, I invite you on a journey not through distant lands or outer galaxies, but into the depths of your own being. We live in a world often dominated by the ego, where material pursuits and mundane concerns reign supreme. But what if I told you there is another way of living? A path beyond these limitations, where the ego fades away and a deeper, more meaningful existence awaits. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, it's easy to get lost in the noise. We chase after success, wealth, and recognition, believing that these external markers of achievement will bring us happiness and fulfillment. But as many of us have experienced, pursuing these fleeting pleasures often leaves us feeling empty and disconnected. The ego, with its insatiable appetite for validation and control, keeps us trapped in this cycle of dissatisfaction. It tells us that external standards measure our worth and that we must constantly strive to be better, have more, and be seen and admired by others. But what if I told you that true fulfillment lies not in the validation of the ego, but in something far deeper and more profound? Most people believe that life is designed for them to suffer. That is not true, because life is what you already are. And what is life? Life is this present moment that is always free, complete, and accepting of what's arising or what is unfolding at this moment, which is right now. The reason why people believe that life is meant for them to suffer is that this is a perception or a mental construct that the mind has created to make it look like life is a burden, and in a true sense things are just unfolding the way they were meant to be. Only our minds come in and judge things, and this creates further suffering because we are always living in resistance of what is. We are living in a world of duality. Of course, things are not going to go your way all the time. Life is designed to bring challenges along the way because this has to be a polarity balance. There cannot be good without bad, because that's how things operate in this world. There is another way of living that is beyond the person with its limitations. There is more to who you think you are than this limited self. As long as you are identified with the ego, life will always be perceived as a burden, because that is how the egoic mind operates. Without the dimension of transcendence, life is complete suffering to the ego perception. As long as you are still living through the egoic mind, you will create suffering for yourself and others. So, I invite you to access the dimension of consciousness as much as possible in your everyday life, because the mind is like a train wreck, and if you don't disidentify from it, you will go down with it. You are not just this person who loves to complain about situations, people, or circumstances. You are this deeper intelligence that transcends all the limitations of the fictitious person. The moment you realize that, true liberation and freedom arise in your life. Beyond the limitations of the ego lies a realm of inner peace and harmony. It's a place where the mind is still and the heart is open. It's a state of being where joy arises not from external achievements, but from the simple act of being alive. This is the realm of spirituality, a journey inward that transcends the confines of the ego and connects us to something greater than ourselves. Spirituality is not about renouncing the world or escaping from reality. It's about finding meaning and purpose in the midst of our everyday lives. It's about cultivating a deep sense of inner peace and contentment that is not dependent on external circumstances. And most importantly, it's about realizing that we are not separate from the world around us, but interconnected with all of existence. When we transcend the limitations of the ego and embrace the path of spirituality, we discover a profound sense of unity with all beings. We recognize that the same divine spark that resides within us also shines brightly in every living creature. This awareness opens our hearts to compassion and empathy, inspiring us to live with kindness, generosity, and love. So, my dear friends, I invite you to consider another way of living. A way that is not bound by the narrow confines of the ego, but expansive and limitless. A way that honors the sacredness of life and celebrates the interconnectedness of all things. Remember, it's not the end of the world in spirituality. Rather, it's the beginning of a new and wondrous journey into the depths of our own souls. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. May you find the courage to explore the path of spirituality and discover the infinite possibilities that await you. Until we meet again, may you be blessed with love, joy, and inner peace. Farewell, dear friends.